Welcome to a brand new episode of Bengals Breakdown, your ultimate source for everything Cincinnati Bengals. Today, we're diving deep into the 2025 season schedule, game by game. We'll break down each matchup, make bold score predictions, and give you a realistic final record projection for the year. This is where it gets exciting. But before we break the huddle, if you're part of Who Dey Nation, show your stripes, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss any Bengals action, from in-depth analysis to breaking news updates. All right, let's roll into it. Preseason preview. The Bengals will warm up with 3 preseason games this year. On the road against the defending champs, the Philadelphia Eagles, a trip to D.C. to face the Washington Commanders, then back home on August 22nd to host the Atlanta Falcons at Paycor Stadium. These matchups may not count toward the record, but they'll offer valuable glimpses into roster battles, rookies, and returning stars. Week 1. Bengals at Browns. Let's be real. Opening week hasn't been kind to Cincinnati in the Zach Taylor era. Think back to the rainy 2023 opener in Cleveland where Joe Burrow struggled through a calf injury and the offense sputtered. But 2025 feels different. The Browns still have a formidable defense, and it likely won't be a shootout. But look for the Bengals to play smarter, tougher, and start fast. Prediction: Cincinnati 20, Cleveland 17. 1-0 to kick things off, and 1-0 in the AFC North. Week 2, Jaguars at Bengals. Jacksonville has been an enigma. Trevor Lawrence has shown flashes, but the consistency just hasn't been there. Coming off a gritty Week 1 win, Cincinnati returns to a fired-up home crowd. Expect a confident performance and another W prediction. Bengals 32, Jaguars 24. Now it's your turn. What do you think the Bengals' final record will be in 2025? Drop your prediction in the comments. Alright, I'll be honest. Predicting exact scores for all 17 games is a long shot, but it's part of the fun as we look ahead to the Bengals' 2025 campaign. After Week 2, I've got Cincinnati cruising at a promising 2-0 start, something fans haven't seen in quite a while. Week 3, Bengals at Vikings. Early season road games are a theme here, and this one in Minnesota will be no different. The Vikings are still a tough squad, but the quarterback situation has shifted. With Sam Darnold now in Seattle, rookie J.J. McCarthy is stepping in under coach Kevin O'Connell. Full disclosure, I'm skeptical about McCarthy's NFL future. Despite the coaching advantage, I don't see him becoming a lasting starter. That gives Joe Burrow and the Bengals the edge in this close battle. My prediction, Bengals win 27-24 in a nail-biter that might come down to clutch field goals from Evan McPherson, whose kicking consistency could be a deciding factor. Week 4. Bengals at Broncos. Monday Night Football. Another tough road test on prime time, but one with high stakes and electric energy. Denver's offense, led by Sean Payton, promises fireworks after last year's memorable showdown. Assuming a healthy Burrow and the offense firing on all cylinders, Cincinnati pulls off a 30-26 victory, starting the season a perfect 4-0. Week 5. Lions at Bengals. Back home for an October afternoon tilt, expect points flying from both squads. This is where the Bengals may hit their first snag. Detroit's offense, fast and explosive despite some coaching changes, could outpace Cincinnati's defense. This one likely comes down to final possessions, but I have Detroit sneaking away with a 41-38 win. Week 6, Bengals at Packers. Heading to Lambeau Field to face Green Bay is never easy. I'm bullish on Matt LaFleur's squad, especially with a healthy Jordan Love under center. Look for another high-scoring affair, but the Packers get the edge, 35-34, marking the Bengals' first losing skid of the season. Week 7, Steelers at Bengals. Thursday Night Football, a classic AFC North grudge match marked by physicality and intensity. Thursday night games favor the team with a better quarterback, and Joe Burrow's experience gives Cincinnati the upper hand. Expect a gritty, low-scoring battle with the Bengals pulling out a tight 21-19 win, snapping their 2-game slide. Week 8, Jets at Bengals. By now, the season is in full swing. This is a game where upsets could happen, but I'm betting on the Bengals flexing their muscles. Look for Cincinnati to dominate Justin Fields and the Jets, winning convincingly 32-14. The defense will need to step up, but the Bengals have the pieces to get it done. As the season heats up, the Bengals will face some stiff challenges, including containing the dynamic rushing attack of Justin Fields and the Jets. It's a new-look offense in New York, and while I expect Cincinnati to come out on top here, don't be shocked if the Bengals stumble in a game they're favored to win later this season. Before we jump into more predictions, a quick reminder to all Bengals fans: if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and ring the bell so you never miss an update from Bengals Breakdown. We're your go-to source for everything Who Dey. Back to the action. Week 9 brings the Chicago Bears to Paycor Stadium. Chicago has plenty of hype around their rookie quarterback Caleb Williams, but I'm not convinced he's ready to dominate the NFL just yet. Meanwhile, the Bengals offense is primed to explode. Prediction: Cincinnati takes this one convincingly. 36-20, improving to 7-2 heading into the all-important Week 10 bye. Speaking of the bye week, I think this timing is perfect. The Bengals will have built solid momentum and get a chance to recharge before the second half of the season. Week 11 sends Cincinnati back on the road for a tough rematch against the Pittsburgh Steelers. These AFC North battles never disappoint. Hard-hitting, physical, and closely fought. My prediction? A narrow loss for the Bengals, 18-17. Mason Rudolph and the Steelers always bring the fight, and their kicker, Chris Boswell, seems to have a knack for clutch field goals against Cincinnati. This will be a game decided by a turnover or two in inches. That drops the Bengals to 7-3, and sets the stage for an intense divisional race. Who do you think will win the AFC North this year? Type CIN for Bengals, PIT for Steelers, BAL for Ravens, or CLE for Browns in the comments below. Spoiler alert, I'm betting on Who Dey. Week 12 comes with a primetime showdown against the New England Patriots. Coach Mike Vrabel is back, and he's always a tough adversary. This one promises to be a defensive slugfest. I'm predicting a close win for Cincinnati, 22-20, in a game where every play will matter. And then Thanksgiving nightlights shine on Baltimore's visit in Week 13, a game that will be a defining moment for the Bengals as they push toward playoff positioning. Ready for the rest? Just say the word and I'll keep the Bengals breakdown rolling. It's always a bit unusual seeing the Bengals take the field on Thanksgiving night, but it's sure to be an exciting matchup. When it comes to games against Baltimore, expect another high-scoring battle just like last year. This time, though, I see the Ravens edging out Cincinnati 33-30, handing the Bengals their first loss in a while and dropping them to 8-4. I wouldn't count on the Bengals sweeping Baltimore this season. Splitting the series feels like the realistic goal. Now, before we keep rolling with these predictions, if you're a true Bengals fan and want all the latest insights, be sure to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and tap the bell icon. We're closing in on 19,000 subscribers, and every single one of you helps us bring more Bengals content your way. Don't miss out. Back to Week 14, heading up to Buffalo for a divisional showdown that brings back some great memories. A few years ago in the snow, the Bengals stunned the Bills in the playoffs, and I expect history to repeat itself. Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor are beasts in December, and this December game is no exception. Prediction: Bengals sneak by with a close 27-24 victory, taking control late against Josh Allen and the Bills. Keep in mind, Cincinnati faces Baltimore twice in just 3 weeks, making this stretch absolutely pivotal. The way the Bengals handle these games will likely define their season and the AFC North race. I've got Cincinnati splitting with Baltimore, winning decisively at home by about 12 points, continuing to light up the scoreboard against a tough rival. And finally, Week 18 could be huge for playoff seeding, possibly even the number one seed, depending on how Kansas City, Baltimore, and others fare. The Bengals finish up against Cleveland in a classic AFC North physical showdown. Cleveland's defense will be tough, but Cincinnati's firepower should prevail. I've got the Bengals winning 22-15 and finishing with a 13-4 record. Now, I know some of you will say the defense still struggles, and that's fair. But last season, the Bengals went 9-8 despite a defense that was just a bit better. That tells you how close they are to making a real leap. With Joe Burrow leading the charge, the best wide receiver duo in the league in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, plus Zach Taylor's coaching, a solid run game, quality tight ends, and the addition of Al Golden to shore up the defense, my expectations are sky high for Cincinnati in 2025. If you're as fired up as I am about this Bengals season, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our breakdowns, predictions, and game reactions all year long. Let's go, Bengals!